Hello, this video is going to be a little bit different. Usually I start out, I have my finished card sitting here and I start talking. But this time, instead of having a card idea and generating the card from it with the tools that I had, I started out with a tool and tried to figure out how to generate a card. I purchased this die cut from Amazon, and for the life of me I couldn't figure out how to generate a card using it, and I finally reached out to my Stampin' Up! Distributor, Frances Martin. I'll link her YouTube channel down below, and she gave me some ideas of how I could use it, and this is the card design that I came up with. I am using some Stampin' Up! Products in addition to this card. I thought it looked really cute, and I wanted to show you how I made it. So let me go through the materials that I used. Okay, let's move this aside for a second. The paper that I'm using is a card base cut 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a green panel cut 5 1/4 by 4, a yellow panel which is just a little bit smaller at 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, a white panel cut 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. I'm using this die cut, which I will link below. I got it on Amazon. I don't remember the name, but I wrote down cut out circles. And I have another die cut. I will also link to this one, Happy Birthday in a Circle. And I have this embossing folder by the Paper Studio called Small Hearts. I couldn't find the link for that. I looked, I'm sorry. I'm also using these Stampin' Up! Stamp sets, Balloon Celebration, and the Punch Bunch. I'll need foam dots and some Tombow glue. You can use any fast drying adhesive that you had. I also need the Owl Builder Punch from Stampin' Up! So I can get this little guy here. The inks I'm using is Memento Bamboo Leaves, Pear Tart, and also VersaFine Onyx Black. I'll be using my Spectrum Noir Sparkle Pen also. I have my embossing buddy, even though I'm not doing any embossing, I might need this, so I thought I should have it handy. And just in case, I'm using my die brush from Stampin' Up! I don't think I'm going to need this, but just in case I have it handy. Because this circle is an intricate die, and it's sometimes difficult to free the letters from the background paper. Okay, let me clear up this stuff and then I'll just jump right in and start the card. Okay, I've brought in my Big Shot. So the first thing I want to do is the embossing. I'm opening my multi-purpose platform to tab 1, which is the tab that you do embossing over. And I am going to emboss the yellow, push it all the way into the embossing folder, and put down one plate. My plates are rather well loved. I have to order a new set. I've only got one working one now, so don't pay any attention to that. It still works fine. So you put the embossing folder with the fold going toward the machine. One plate down, your paper inside your folder, one plate on top, and just run it through. You can change this depending on your machine's sensitivity. If you don't get a good impression, you can go to fewer tabs, and if it impresses too much and breaks your paper, you can go to less tabs or add shims as needed. The panel embossed. Okay, set this aside. And I'm going to switch this platform out and get my magnetic platform. And I also have put on a precision base plate. It's magnetic, so. And this will help you with your intricate dies and your difficult die cutting. And as you see, the magnetic platform has one seriously strong magnet. Okay, so the sandwich for this one is the platform, the precision base plate, And this time I'm taking the green paper and the die and put it on one side of the paper. Being mindful that you put it on straight, because this is going to be the card front. And then, oh, you know, I'm not going to use that one because I don't want to mess it up. Use the grungy one and run it through. Notice with the precision base plate, you only need one cutting plate. That's it. And circles going everywhere. Don't lose them because you're going to need a couple of them. Just poke out all the others though, because you don't need the itty bitty confetti types. And I did not need my brush. I didn't think I would. It came out pretty good. Let's set that aside. I'm going to have these circles going everywhere. Okay. Now, this is going to be a tricky cut because you want to get two of these out of this one piece of paper. So make sure that you go as close to the edge as you can for the first cut and run it through. Okay. Oh, I'm getting a really bad glare here. Come on, adjust camera. Okay. Let's free these little bits. Thank you, computer. You have to be careful not to tear this. It's really delicate. There. Now run it through and get the second circle out. Okay, I'll deal with that in a minute. Hold this, you're going to need it. So let me take the big shot out of the way for now. Okay, now I have to free the die from all this little bitty paper shrapnel. So I'm taking my piercing tool and carefully poking the hole through the, there's holes in the die which will help this process. So poking the pokey tool through it to free the die. Okay, let's move all this away. But remember, you need to hold some of these. So I'm going to hold the large one, this one, and a couple of these. I don't know which one I'm going to use yet, but I just want to make sure that I have enough. And I think that ought to be enough. Okay. The rest into the round file. If you really were feeling really snarky, you could take and emboss, cut this out with a contrasting color, in this case like the yellow, and then you'd have all the little yellow circles. Then you could slowly put them all back in all these little spots, and that might be an interesting way to do this card too. I'm not going to do that, but that is an option. Okay, save those, set this aside. And these two, this is a little bit flimsy, so I'm going to adhere these two together. I just have this little piece of dirty sponge here, and I'm going, this is my non-stick craft mat. I'm going to just put a little pile of glue here and glue this to that. Just dab it in. I found this to be a lot easier than trying to put dots on all these little bitty pieces. So now that I have that, hopefully that's enough. Just press the two together, lining them up. Take your time so that you don't get a weird shadow. Now I'm going to clean this off. Just going to use my stamp cleaner. There's a video on my channel showing how I made that stamp cleaner. It's very inexpensive. I've had the same bottle of baby soap for 2 years now, which I have been using to make my stamp cleaner. There, good as new. Just need to be a little drier though. Okay, now this is a little sticky, so I'm going to run my embossing buddy over it. Both sides, because I don't want it to get stuck where I don't want it to be. If you're off on your taping a little bit, this will help you with that on anything, not just embossing. Okay, now time to do the stamping. I'm bringing in my MISTI tool to help me with this next step. So taking this little bit of white, if you didn't have enough after your cut, you can just get some more white paper, and I'm just going to put the owl on here however he'll go so I get all of him, and it looks like I have enough there. This owl stamp is a very solid image, so his little wings tend not to want to stamp good the first time, so that's why I'm using my MISTI tool for this. And my VersaFine, I use it so often it's not as juicy as it used to be. I need to re-ink it, so I know I'm not going to get a good impression the first time. But because this is important that it is in the right place. Because this is a rubber stamp, I don't need this extra mat, so let's pull that out. Give it a press, and there's a couple missing spots as I anticipated, so I'll stamp it again. Just for now, clean this off. The best thing to do for this one when you're dealing with so much black is to wipe it first with a rag or stamp it off onto paper, and then take your cleaning device, whatever that is going to be, and clean it. The reason I'm cleaning it, even though I'm going to use it twice, is because I don't want to mess up my paper when I bring in the next thing, which is my inside of my card. So I want this little guy to be in this corner, except face down, of course. And same thing again, stamp it. Seem to be a little bit off the screen, sorry. There's a little staining on the stamp, but it's not going to affect it. The stamp really did get clean. Now I need to do my balloon and my string. So he doesn't have a wing, so I'm just going to get this close to his body. Just a little bit of an angle. and stamp this up. And I forgot to put the pad back in because this is a photopolymer. Let's try that again. See if there's enough ink to carry it. Could be a little darker. Yay, Misty saves the day. Okay, you may notice that this inside design is going above the fold. I thought this was looked really nice, and this was a little bit longer than I wanted it. So I had to do it this way. So this balloon stamp is 3 pieces. It's the solid, the accent, and the outline. So the best way to do is to put the solid first in your lightest color, and then your detail in the next darker color, and the outline in black. Of course, you could use an even darker color. That's completely up to you. Let's close this for a second. So this is going to be the pear tart. Come on. And then the detail, just line it up, look right through the stamp. Bamboo leaves. If you didn't have 2 shades of green, you could stamp off the first one, the lighter one, and then do the second stamp full impression, and you will still get the ombre looks. But I have 2 shades. And now for the outline stamp. Oh, got it first try. And that's going to be in the black. Okay, that's the inside, and as you see, the balloon is above the fold. Coming into the home stretch here. Okay, I think this is dry, so close this up so we won't have an accident. Bone fold of the crease. Make sure the hearts are facing the right way, and just line that up. This is why this piece is a little bit smaller, so that the yellow doesn't show over. Press it down good, and for this side, I'm going to just glue it down with some Tombow here and there. My Tombow is getting kind of lean. To get another bottle. Hold it a second. There. Now, getting there. The owl, we're going to use our owl punch and punch him out. If we can open it. Ooh, okay. So this isn't going to fit that way, so do a little maneuvering. Use that as a handle. Cut this little bit off. Okay, Now we need a little bit of yellow scrap, which I have here, and we'll get this little heart. Okay, this is now Trish. Again, the Tombow, a little dot right here on his chest. Grab my quick stick tool, which is useful when you're picking up little things. This has a little sticky part on that side. See, just picks it right up and put it in place. There. Now, assembling the card. Because this is a textured, you're going to want to add a little bit extra adhesive so that you get a good seal. Now for this part, I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive here and there. Don't put too much because you don't want it to poke through to the other side, but you want the letters to be tacked in place. Give it a press. And if the adhesive peeks through, you can take your embossing buddy and go over it a little bit. And if it really bothered you how it looked, you could take an adhesive eraser and just erase it off. But it doesn't bother me, so if a little bit came out, that's fine. And this guy, put a little glue on his back and just tuck him right on the P's on the happy birthday. Okay. Now bringing in foam dots and decide which one of the circles I want. I want this big one for sure, and this one, and let's see, let's try that one. I think that's this one, yes. Okay, so you get 3 dots. These are really thick. I probably could have gotten a little smaller one, but it's okay. And just put it as centered as you can. And just put them in place. Oops, that's this one, isn't it? Okay. Popped up different ones for this one, but it's fine. Now taking my Spectrum Noir pen, I'm going to sparkle up his little eyes, sparkle up his heart, and then very carefully sparkle up the letters Happy Birthday. I could have also did this sparkling on the letters before I put it down, but I didn't want to accidentally wipe off any of the sparkle, so I decided to just hope that my hand was steady enough and do it in place. It's up to you which you want it to do. That's that. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, how sparkly that is. Maybe you can. Okay. And that's the finished card. It was very simple and I like how it turns out. Again, I'm not going to do the card with all the little holes, but I thought this was enough interesting for it. I hope Frances likes how it turns out. I hope you like it too. Thanks for watching my channel. Please subscribe. If you can get your hands on these items and make this card yourself, I'd love to see how it turned out. Please send me a comment on this video below. Thanks for watching and have a good day.